Hey, everybody. Happy Monday. It is studentloanjustice.org live stream for Monday, March 13th. Would be my father's birthday today if he was with us. So, happy birthday, Dad. Hope everybody's doing well out there in the world. We are in new digs for tonight. I could only smell myself for so long. I had to get a cheap motel room for the night, and I thought the lighting would be a little better than this. But anyways, guys, hope everything's going well in the world, wherever you may be. It is very cold and very snowy here in Wisconsin. We've got more snow right now than we had all winter, so we're really in the thick of it up here. So a couple of announcements. First of all, we're making great progress on replacing the SLJ van. So we started this thing like 6 days ago, right? Not even 6 days. We are, knock on wood, nearly 2/3 of the way there. So we had to raise $6,000. We've raised, I think, $3,700. So we're getting quite close, ladies and gentlemen, and I am just over the moon. I thought it would take way, way, way longer than this, but apparently people are finally starting to really realize how important this group is, thank goodness, and how important this fight that we're in is, how important it is that we fight this fight that we are in. So we're going to have huge travel plans coming up. We need to go to Iowa. We need to go to South Carolina. We need to go to Georgia. I want to go to North Carolina. I would love to actually go to Indiana as well. Missouri, pretty much the whole South. Texas, incredibly important. Arizona. I don't know what order and so forth. I do know that we'll probably want to hit Iowa during the state fair, August 10th. Anyways, we've got some major miles to put in. And so you guys know, if you're relatively new to the group, it was because of our road trips 4 years ago in Iowa that we were able to convince Elizabeth Warren to include the return of bankruptcy protection to student loans in her presidential agenda, which candidate Biden then promptly stole from her and included it in his own agenda. And while the Democrats, including Biden and most pointedly Elizabeth Warren, while they blatantly betrayed us last congressional session, that all started with us. More importantly, it was our jawboning with Greg Murphy, Joe Biden's campaign manager, that caused that whole thing that we just saw a few months ago to come about, which is the new bankruptcy process. Again, we were massively disappointed in that whole thing, but it's actually a pretty good thing for people out there if you were already going to file for bankruptcy, or if you recently filed for bankruptcy and you want to reopen your claim and include your student loans. You can do that now at little or no cost, whereas before you had to pay a lawyer to do an adversarial proceeding, all that nonsense. So 150,000 people a year with student loans file for bankruptcy. So this is a huge. It's a very significant good thing for them because they can find out whether they're going to get their loans discharged or not in bankruptcy without having to go through this adversarial proceeding. But it was our work to bring student loan cancellation by executive order into the public conversation, which we did while we were on the road. So I don't know if that really counts, but nobody was talking about canceling student loans by executive order before. We did a seminal interview in Vice News, and then when we started our petition in March 2020, calling on the president to cancel student loans, President Trump at the time, calling on the president to cancel student loans by executive order, nobody else was making that public call. And it was months and months and months. It was only when our petition just started rocking and rolling and got up to 600 or 700,000 signatures that that we finally saw senators like Elizabeth Warren, Chuck Schumer embrace the call. Now, we're not thrilled at all with what they did with it. We are even less thrilled with what Joe Biden made out of it, which is essentially a feckless, tricky, maybe even designed to fail gimmick that was more to get votes than anything else. But the fact that we're even talking about canceling student loans by executive order, the fact that we have a sitting president having announced a student loan cancellation by executive order, that all started with this group, guys. And it was our running around Iowa, running around Texas, running around many other states, Alabama, Arizona, California. Where else did we go? We went through Atlanta. We went through North Carolina, South Carolina. Oh, I can't remember the whole trip. Washington, D.C., obviously. But that all started with our road trips, guys. And so I hope that you can see the true value in helping us get this freaking van to replace our old van, because it's just important. And our group has far more, I guess, stature, more sort of public whatever credibility today than we did 4 years ago by times 50 or 100 or something like that. We've always been a pretty significant group, guys, but we are really we're really poised to finally make this the last trip ever for student loan justice. And that is my true hope, ladies and gentlemen. And I hope that you agree, because if you're like me, you've had enough. You're done. You're finished. You're not taking any more shit from anyone. You're not putting up with this big government lending scam, this unconstitutional lending scam any longer. And you shouldn't. In my humble opinion, nobody should ever pay another dime certainly on their federal student loans. In my humble opinion, that's both unwise and unpatriotic. And if you ever do pay another dollar into your federal student loans, well, I can tell you that you will be in the tiny minority of all borrowers. I don't think 20, maybe even as low as 15% of the people will ever pay another dollar if they ever try and turn this lending system back on. So guys, the lending system's failed. It's toast. It's time to bury it in a clean and quick way that helps people, rather than a dirty, messy, years or decades-long unwinding and all the civil unrest and personal anguish and harm that will cause across the country. So I'm looking for your comments now, by the way. Sorry to be lagging on this. If you have any questions or comments, if you're watching us on Facebook or Twitter or, well, that's it. You can leave comments wherever you are, and I'll see them eventually, like YouTube and stuff. But I would strongly urge all of you, by the way, if you are new to the group, join our Facebook group. It's kind of where the action is. It's where I spend most of my time. Twitter, to a lesser extent. Follow us on Twitter, too. That's obviously very helpful. Twitter is more powerful for us than Facebook, by the way. So Facebook is where I do most of my stuff and post our breaking news and all that kind of thing. But as far as reaching out and touching people, I have to say that Twitter is far better than Facebook. I hate them both, by the way. We get massively throttled by both of those platforms. We're probably the original freaking OG for shadow banning, and Facebook knows what they do to us. But anyways, I digress. We're making great progress, guys. The number one thing I want to talk to you tonight, I'm going to keep it rather short tonight because, as I said, I can smell myself and I need to jump in that shower over there. And I got to sleep on a real bed tonight. That's just awesome. But I want to also let you know that we are really kicking some pretty serious ass right now on getting letters on Facebook to the editor published all across the country. So far, it seems to be really popping in the South and the Midwest, I guess you would say, or maybe the South and the West. So Lisa Ansell got a good letter editor. calling, I think it was calling for bankruptcy rights, which is, and if you're into the group, guys, we want loan cancellation. Don't get me wrong. Everybody does. We're not going to get loan cancellation meaningfully unless and until we get the constitutionally enshrined right of bankruptcy returned. Bankruptcy is far more important as a actual thing that we need to fight for. Bankruptcy is way more important than student loan cancellation. Cancellation will come, but only when we get the threat, the leverage of bankruptcy back. And I know a lot of people don't understand that. A lot of people are like, I don't want to file for bankruptcy. Duh. Nobody wants to file for bankruptcy. But we've got to have the leverage of bankruptcy back. And I'm telling you, as long as that's gone stripped from us, as long as we don't have that leverage, we can be begging Joe Biden or Donald Trump or any other president forever to do something real. And what we'll get is this nonsense that we've already gotten. So, yeah, we're fighting for bankruptcy first and foremost, guys. And you should be too, if you actually want to win this battle and not get this nonsense up to $10,000, up to $20,000 nonsense. So I'm thrilled to report that Lisa Ansell got a great letter in the Los Angeles Times. I should have mentioned this last night. Aaron Root got a great article published in the, what was it? The Fort Worth. It was in Texas. I know that for a fact. Maybe I can just, let me see if I can dial that in. I think it was it wasn't the Fort Worth Star Telegram. That was somebody else. We've gotten around 10 op-ed letters to the editor published in the state of Texas over the past 2 or 3 weeks. Jackie A. Braun has done the overwhelming lion's share of those letters, and we salute Jackie hugely. She did get published in Fort Worth Star Telegram, in the Waco News, in the Apalachicola Hakachi Times. I can never get that right. Strange city names in Texas. The Austin, did we get in the Austin Statesman? No, I don't think so. Anyways, we've been tearing it up across the state of Texas, and that's very good. You know, Texas is one of the worst hurt states, and we've got to push Republicans, guys. And Republicans, Texas is a pretty Republican state. I think most people would agree. So great thanks to Aaron Root, and let me just make sure. Oh, it was Express News, which is, I don't know where that is in Texas, actually. San Antonio. Sorry, Aaron. Great letter. I'm not going to read it here. I'll leave it to your own devices to find it. Aaron Root, R-O-O-T, and it is the San Antonio Express News. And many others. Probably the strongest article or the strongest letter to the editor that I've seen so far was from our own Nicholas Linke. And I can tell you, he got something published in the Salt Lake City Tribune. Oh, by the way, he also got published in another Utah newspaper. So that's twice in Utah. So I think we're actually up over 13 or 14. I think we're up around 15 or so by now. But guys, we need everyone writing these letters to the editor. Everyone. Can you imagine how strong it will be when we get letters to the editor, much like what Nicholas and Lisa and Jackie were able to get done in nearly every newspaper in the country? It will change things. It will change things big time. And that is absolutely and only going to happen when you sitting there make it happen. This is a working, fighting group. And if you're new to the group, you should know we're not like the other groups where you sit there and they entertain you and they move around, they shuck and they jive and they go, yeah. And they don't ask you to do anything. We're asking you to do a lot. In fact, the only way that we're going to win is by you getting off your ass and helping us. You can't watch us do your work for you. We cannot carry your weight for you. We cannot. It's always been true. I see we have quite a few comments here tonight. Hey, Leslie Fishman's with us tonight. Hey, Leslie, in New York. Leslie says, come to New York so you can rally New York City, even though I live 2 hours away. Yeah, you know, we have protested in front of Trump Tower, and I lived in Zuccotti Park in 2011 during Occupy Wall Street, I'm very proud to say. And by the way, we're a fiercely nonpartisan group. We don't like the Democrats. We don't like the Republicans. We are our own party, as it were. So please, to the conservatives out there, the haters out there who are trying to put us in this liberal snowflake box, get bent. That's not us. And if you come to our group and you hang out for a while, you'll see that our members spread the spectrum of political persuasion. We have truck drivers from Ohio. We have, I don't know, writers from Los Angeles and Massachusetts. Yeah, we have liberals on our group. It's true. But I'd say that we have about an equal measure of people who lean conservative. Think about that. You wonder what happened to the red wave? Student loans. And your big fat effing mouths wagging your finger at the student loan borrowers. You thought you were wagging your finger at a bunch of 20-something-year-old blue-haired snowflake liberals. No. You were actually wagging your finger at people like Derek in North Carolina, Mike, truck driver in Ohio, Vanjie, many people over the age of 50, 60, over the age of 70 even. We're not blue-haired liberals. Half of us are Republican or independent. So yeah, what happened to that red wave? Student loans is what happened. And it's going to get worse. So as long as you freaking idiots out there keep wagging your finger at the student loan borrowers, you can kiss the Republican Party's ass goodbye, because this is getting worse very quickly. And we're not putting up with this shit anymore. And we don't care what parties fail as a result. It's going to happen. And you better watch out. And you better rethink everything you thought you knew about student loans. So I digress. Leslie, I would love to come to New York again. I actually love coming to New York for small lengths of time. I can't do more than about 5 or 6 days in New York, and I start. It's too much. It's too much. No, but I do love New York. I'd love to come there. I'd love to come to Albany. I've been there many times. We actually were able to get with City Councilman Jim Sano some very good City of Albany legislation passed, calling for the cancellation of student loans, calling for the return of consumer protections like bankruptcy to student loans. So, we have many connections to Albany. I'll just leave it at that. Hey, speaking of Vanjie's with us tonight. And to those of you out there, the haters out there who go, why should my tax dollars pay for your college? Well, talk to Vanjie. Vanjie borrowed $26,000. She's repaid $100,000 or more. She still owes $132,000. And just go to our website, studentloanjustice.org, and you can see many, 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 many examples just like Vanjie's. Taxpayers are doing very well on this loan scam. Don't flatter yourself. This is the biggest big government, red state wrecking, by the way, unconstitutional loan scam in the history of the U.S. And no one who's actually a conservative would ever fight for it. But by wagging your fingers at us, that's exactly what you're doing. You're cutting your own throat. And frankly, you should apologize to all the redneck conservatives who are being absolutely wrecked by their student loans. Maybe they went to trade school. Maybe they went to welding school. Maybe they went to a community college or Voc Tech. Well, I don't know, but what I do know is in Texas, for example, the people of Texas owe $141 billion in mostly federal student loan debt. So if you want to keep wagging your finger at us, the people being wrecked by this scam, you're going to do what you want to do. That's fine, obviously. But turn in your conservative card, because you done lost that, Chief. You work for the colleges now, and shame on you for that. So Vanjie has a question. How can we use the government's quick response to the failed SVB situation as a weapon towards our student loan argument? Great question, Vanjie. Well, it's very simple. The bailout of Silicon Valley Bank requires money to be drawn from the Treasury. it requires money to be added to the national debt in the final analysis. And why? For what purpose? So that we can bail out, by and large, very high net worth individuals that have used the bank to stockpile their crypto profits or whatever in it. So now contrast that, and we can talk about PPP loans, kind of the same too, but contrast that with student loans. People who get student loans aren't high net worth individuals. In fact, they are financially needy by definition. You can't get a federal student loan unless you're determined to be financially needy. The loans were paid for many, many years ago. The government has made back pretty much every nickel that it ever paid out for those loans. You can cancel all federally owned student loans, which is most student loans, without needing one dime, not one thin dime from the Treasury, without adding one nickel to the national debt. Yet here we are in the space of 72 hours. The Treasury Department or Janet Yellen or whoever comes up and goes, oh, yeah, no, we're going to make those people whole. Yeah, no, we're going to throw the rule book for the FDIC out the window. Yeah, 200. I know we said 250,000 max. No, we're going to go ahead and make those people 100% whole at the cost of, who knows, tens, hundreds of billions of dollars? I don't know. And where's the protest? Where are the finger waggers? Where are the fucking ridiculous, fake MAGA wannabe conservatives wagging their finger at those Silicon Valley millionaires and billionaires? Shame on you people. Federal student loans will be canceled. They will not be paid. And you better get that through your thick fucking skull. Pardon my French. So I hope that answers your question, Vanjie. It just makes blood shoot out of my eyes, with the SVB bailout, with the PPP loans, which by and large went to people over $100,000 a year in earnings, and both of those things added to the national debt, required money to be drawn from the Treasury. Canceling every nickel of federal student loans adds not one dime to the national debt, requires not one nickel to be drawn from the federal Treasury. So, anyways, I hope you guys are all stoked. You know what? I said I was going to keep it short tonight, and I think I still have a small chance to make this a relatively short live stream. I think I'm going to wish you all well. I'm going to repeat one last time. Please pitch in for the van. We're almost 2/3 of the way there, guys. We could have this sucker knocked out by the end of the week with not a huge, it shouldn't be hard to do. Quite frankly, I'm almost thinking about maybe upping our goal from 6,000 to 8,000. Let me know what you think about that. Kind of the reasoning there is that I'm probably going to have to fly and drive to get the next van, because I am not going to buy a van up here in Wisconsin again. I'm just not going to do it. This thing, they're rusted out, just terrible rust. And that's it. I don't want to do the rest. So I want to fly to Texas or Arizona or, Oklahoma or someplace where there is no rust issues with vehicles, and then drive back. And, Leslie Fishman says, yes, up it. Shot is so expensive. Oh, shit, I think you mean to say. Pardon Leslie's French. Yeah, no, the more I think about it, the more I think I probably should do that. And so there's going to be airfare. And also, the cost of registering a vehicle in Wisconsin. Our last van that I registered was $500 to get that sucker tagged legally in Wisconsin. It's a complete racket. So I don't know. I mean, I've never paid more than about 120 in any other state, but something about Wisconsin. Hey, Crispy Streets with us tonight. Hey, Chris. Chris says, this is warm up for election year. Yes. Starting August 10th, all of the presidential candidates, so Republicans and probably Democratic, they're going to be, what's the word? They're going to be descending like locusts on the state of Iowa starting August 10th. No, I didn't. I probably shouldn't have said that. They are going to be overwhelming the state of Iowa starting August 10th. It's a very good opportunity to get literally eyeball to eyeball with these candidates. And, you know, it's when they're in campaign mode is when they're actually liable to make commitments that we hopefully can make them stick to. So yeah, dudes, I will leave it at there. Oh, no, I see one more kind of good comment. No. Okay. All right, guys. No, that's it. I'm done. Please kick in for the van. You know, please maybe even also just donate to our regular channels too, because we have to, you know, we've got regular bills besides saving up for the van that we have to deal with. Help in any way you can. I hope that you guys are stoked with all that we've been getting done, particularly over the past 3 weeks with these letters to the editor. Very last thing. If you borrowed more than you repaid and you still owe more than, no, if you've repaid far more than you borrowed and you still owe far more than you borrowed, and you want to be interviewed by a major national / international newspaper, very well-known newspaper, send me an email and send me some more info about what's going on, what your numbers are, what the basic numbers are, and any other information you feel is pertinent. And send that to me via email, Alan, ALAN, @studentloanjustice.org, and I will be happy to forward it along. Should be a pretty strong piece, I'm guessing. Oh, yeah, right. Vanjie, yeah, gas is expensive too. Good point. So yeah, I think I will up it to $8,000. I don't know. Unless anybody has huge problems with that, I think I'll do that. It's pretty rare that we actually have success with fundraising, so I want to ride this bull while the bull is still bucking, as it were. I hope you understand. Okay, guys. So I will be back on Wednesday for sure. I may be back tomorrow. I'm hoping to bring on a special guest this week too. But I'll talk about that later. So I'll see you on Wednesday. I may possibly see you tomorrow. Keep fighting, guys. And remember, if you ever need anything to do, you're not sure what to do, go to our website and look at our daily actions and do the past like 2 weeks worth of our daily actions. But right now, if you're looking for something to do, write a letter to the editor. Look at the other letters that we've already gotten published. You can find them on our Facebook group. You can find them on our Twitter page too if you scroll down. Get your letter to the editor published. You forget everything I say tonight. Remember that. Okay? This is your battle. This is your fight. And we need you. And we will fail without you. And you need us. And you need everyone to be helping us. Think about that. Spread the word about this group, guys. We're on a roll, and we need to grow it. Okay, I'm out. Good luck. Godspeed. God bless everyone.